I've got a big update for you guys on Andrew and Tristan Tate. They have officially made it to the feds in Miami, and apparently they are being held in squalid, horrific conditions under solitary confinement, and they are waiting for their opportunity to have a hearing, and I believe that is going ahead today. So I've got all of the updates for you in this, but I'm telling you what, Andrew and Tristan Tate are having a very, very bad time currently, okay? I'm not going to lie. Hey, it is what it is, all right? It is what it is, okay? They'll be having an even worse time when they get to Belmarsh in England. But anyway, okay, this is an update from Andrew and Tristan's lawyer, and he's given a little bit more details about the conditions that they're currently facing in this horrific federal jail. All right, it says update. Andrew and Tristan Tate are in solitary confinement. Oh no. Days ago, Andrew and Tristan Tate exercised their constitutional rights by visiting the US Capitol in Washington, D.C. They held meetings about their UK party, the midterms in 2028. Didn't I tell you in the last video? All right, the last two videos, they launched the Bruv Party. They're going to try and make out like they're political prisoners rather than R words. That's what they're going to do. I told you. We know. They also met with friends and members of Congress. Now they sit in a 5x2 cell as political prisoners on American soil in solitary confinement. What is this idea that just like, because you met a politician 2 days ago, that you can't possibly have committed crimes 10, 15 years ago that are disgusting, despicable crimes against women? What part of that don't you understand? Oh, I can't get held to account for doing the R word several times to women years ago because I met some guy yesterday who's a politician with an American flag on his lapel. Give me a break. It says, make no mistake about it, they are being punished for daring to exercise their First Amendment rights. I didn't know the First Amendment right granted you the permission to be an R word and force yourself onto women. I didn't know that. I need to go and check out the Constitution. So they're also being hunted by a despotic UK government that wants to bury them in a foreign prison for the rest of their lives. Actually, they want to bury them in a domestic prison for probably 15 years, 10 to 15, for the R words that they've committed on women. We met with them today. They're dressed in orange jumpsuits like Al-Qaeda terrorists at Guantanamo Bay, or like any other person that is currently awaiting trial. Just like David, just like Aunt Hefe, just like Lil Durk. All in the jumpsuits, all right? I don't know why, like Al-Qaeda terrorists at Guantanamo Bay, like, bruh, everybody in any jail, you'll get in an orange jumpsuit, bro. Have you ever, like, just Google the word jail attire. 2 innocent men, we don't know that yet, charged with nothing in America, dressed like enemy combatants. This is nonsense. This lawyer is hysterical. This lawyer is a shrieking Karen, and unfortunately, this is not going to go well. Florida AG James Uthmia, a low testosterone deep state asset who hates free speech, tweeted how the turntables, celebrating the arrest of 2 innocent men because he's a sad joke of a man who can't get over the fact we wiped the floor with him last year. So apparently your testosterone levels are dictating whether or not you can prosecute someone and extradite them under an international treaty. This lawyer sucks, all right? This lawyer is a joke. This is un-American and unconscionable. Love Andrew and Tristan or hate them, it doesn't matter. When American citizens can be caged for their politics, every single one of you is next. I am not an R word, sir. I do not commit the R word against women. So, no, I'm not next. It's not going to happen because I'm not a disgusting R wordist. All right? Not possible. Okay? Mark my words. Today it's Andrew and Tristan. Tomorrow it will be Trump. I ain't even going to touch that one. Then it will be you. No, it won't, because I'm not one of them R words. They not like us, okay? You creating child pee. You creating child pizza. That's what they're accused of doing, creating illegal videos with a minor, trafficking minors, flying a young'un from, where is it, Lithuania, some random-ass country, to the UK as a young'un, getting them, pimping them out on wcam. Bro, then it will not be me. I don't do that shit. I don't indulge in any of that shit. It is nonsense. We have court first thing tomorrow. Let your voices be heard. Speak out now. What's me speaking out going to do anything? And thankfully we got this community note, right? Andrew and Tristan were arrested in Miami on a UK extradition warrant for R-word and S-trafficking charges, not US charges, all for exercising their First Amendment rights, okay? If the First Amendment gives me the right to commit the R-word, America is over with, okay? This is a joke, all right? So his lawyer has actually spoken now in a video interview too, and I'll show you that
We,
right
of course, are going to fight extradition, so the court will set a hearing during which we will argue the merits of our position. We'll be looking at the 4th prong of the test, which is the probable cause prong. We believe that we have strong grounds, and we will make that argument to the court at the appropriate time. I don't see any set of circumstances where the judge will want to do that today. If our clients happen to get released today, then God bless America, but I think that the chances of release today are slim to none, and that does not have anything to do with the merits of the case. That is just what happens typically in these situations. The court needs time to adjust and understand what's going on. We're going to need to examine the paperwork that comes over from the United Kingdom. We'll make our arguments in a few weeks, and then we'll let the chips fall where they may. We think these charges are salacious and defamatory charges. Andrew and Tristan Tate have been accused of the most heinous acts that two men could be accused of for the past several years, but in multiple courts of competent jurisdictions across the world. In the United States, Romania, they have consistently been found innocent.
Lies. They were never found innocent. It's a lie. So I've broken this down in the previous video. Andrew Tate went platform to platform, podcast to podcast, swung dick to dick, telling the whole world that he was a pimp. And I showed you in the last video, pimping's illegal, sir. Pimping in the UK is illegal, all right? Pimping, he said he was a pimp. Pimping is illegal. I'm going to do it again just because it brings me great delight to just show up and show my ass to these morons, okay? He said in a million interviews he a pimp. Pimping is strictly illegal. You're a criminal, dummy. You're a criminal. You admitted the crime on a bunch of podcasts, dummy. Okay, you dumb. You a dummy. All right, you Andrew Dummy the dumb Tate. Okay, he dumb. So, pimping is a crime. He was never vindicated or allowed to be his case in New York. This man's a liar.
Have consistently been found innocent.
No, they haven't. He's never been found innocent of anything. All they said in Romania is that the prosecutors need more time to get all of their evidence in order. That's it. All right. And that was in Romania. Pimping's, we don't even need the trial. We do need the trial because it's right in a just society. It's illegal. And he was doing it to a minor, okay? They not like us. Andrew and Tristan Tate, they not like us. So let me give you a little bit more backstory now, just about the details, them fighting the extradition, their court date, which I believe is taking place as we speak, really. I think this was uploaded 3 hours ago, so I believe it may have gone down. There may be an update on this now. So basically, they made their Miami court appearance, and they're planning to fight extradition. So this is a little bit of backstory.
Also developing right now, the Tate brothers are expected to appear in court today in Miami after their arrest happened over the weekend.
And that comes after an extradition request from the UK. Local 10's Hannah Yeshivi is in Miami, where the attorney for the Tate brothers spoke out today. Hannah.
The attorney says these new charges from the United Kingdom are politically motivated and that the brothers plan to fight the extradition.
Over the weekend, controversial social media influencers Andrew and Tristan Tate were arrested by U.S. Marshals following an extradition request from the United Kingdom, where prosecutors there have brought up 38 additional charges.
These charges are salacious and defamatory charges.
The new charges include allegations of rape, arranging or facilitating human trafficking for sexual exploitation, assault, and other offenses. Andrew Tate also faces additional charges involving indecent images.
So look, I don't even want to hear them say the stuff they're about to say, because they're about to give all the salacious details and points, okay? But basically, okay, they were set to appear. They did appear before a federal magistrate on Monday, the first time they were arrested since these salacious and defamatory charges, all right? Their attorney said the charges were filth and slander, definitely filth. I don't know about slander, definitely salacious, but I don't know about defamatory. So they're being held in federal detention following their arrest on Saturday, and a district judge will decide in a few weeks whether they meet the conditions for extradition, okay? This is extremely bad. So basically, okay, his lawyer made a very big and ridiculous statement outside the court after getting, you know, by the sounds of it, dog walked in the court, if I'm honest with you, getting absolutely smoked. So this is them, kind of a little bit of a news report on them appearing in court, and I'm going to tell you how it went down. It didn't go well.
Controversial social media influencers Andrew and Tristan Tate were in court in Florida this morning after their arrest over the weekend. The two face rape and trafficking charges in the United Kingdom. The charges cover allegations from 2010 to 2017. The brothers also face previous charges for rape, human trafficking, bodily harm, and controlling prostitution for gain in 3 other...
Why they got to keep saying the R word, man? We're trying to avoid saying the R word over here, man. Jesus Christ. I had a nightmare trying to get yesterday's video up because of the too many R words. Anyway, okay, this is the Tates in court. They took L. They will be remaining behind bars as they appeared in court fighting extradition to the UK after arrest. It did not go their way. All right, this is a little drawing of what went down. This is absolutely brilliant. All right, I will be I will be. Let me just make sure that I've got that. That's definitely good. That's thumbnail material right there. I'm not going to lie to you people. Okay, this is Andrew and Tristan in the court. All right, I'll get this framed if I could. This is an amazing piece of artwork of our time, a modern day Picasso. Okay. The shiny, baldy heads. The illustrator is just drawing the shine bouncing off their heads. Okay, they were in a Miami federal court in front of the judge, female judge. All that woman hate's not going to come in handy when you're in front of the female judge. And basically, they were detained at the bare knuckle boxing event. They made their first appearance in front of a federal magistrate at the Wilkie D. Ferguson Jr. Courthouse in Miami on Monday afternoon. U.S. prosecutors are seeking to extradite them to the UK. The district judge will consider whether they meet the conditions over the coming week, and they will be locked up. Okay, they will be fighting the move, and the lawyer basically made a big speech after the court date. We saw him beforehand. Now we're going to see him afterwards, and he's blaming Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of the UK, who's literally leaving today. He's getting fired damn near today. All right, this guy's literally getting fired today, and you're blaming him. And he's saying, the clients are a victim of a political witch hunt, are being attacked for what they say, not for what they've done. That's cap. Man's a liar. This lawyer sucks, to be honest with you. If this is their defense, he's going to be absolutely cooked. All right. He branded Britain a fallen state that prosecutes its citizens for free speech. That's not wrong, but he's not being prosecuted for speech. He's being prosecuted for the R word. He suggested President Donald Trump could intervene in the proceedings, saying he was elected to fight against this kind of nonsense. What, the R word? Let's be real. With all the Epstein files nonsense that's gone on, I don't think Trump wants to be anywhere near. He wouldn't touch this with a barge pole. Would not touch this with a barge pole. All right, the pair were seized by U.S. Marshals. They were seized. First was the Bugattis. Now it's your dumbasses. Part and parcel. They season your whole bodies. All right. So yeah, these are very, very serious charges. So let's see what his low IQ, high testosterone. His lawyer is so high testosterone that his hair has made a run for it years ago. Okay, look at the shine on his head. I might need to put sunglasses. Have I got some sunglasses I can put on? His head is so shiny. I'm gonna have to put sunglasses on. All right, just so I can protect my eyesight while I'm doing this reaction, because this guy's head is absolutely beaming.
Objecting to extradition because Andrew and Tristan are innocent. They've never done nothing wrong. They shouldn't be extradited for crimes they did not commit.
They've never done nothing wrong ever. Okay.
Garbage. It's a stitch-up job. They're after us to punish us with the process. The process is the punishment. Motivated? I think any one of these trees, any one of these rocks could answer that question. In the United States or abroad, elected or not elected, everybody knows that Andrew and Tristan Tate are innocent. Defamation lawsuit against a false accuser that we're litigating successfully in Palm Beach County. Good afternoon, everyone. So today went as expected. There was never going to be
badly
any fireworks today. Today wasn't about controversy. Today was about just enforcing Mr. Tate's, Andrew and Tristan Tate's rights and objecting to the extradition process. We are, of course, objecting to extradition because Andrew and Tristan are innocent. They've never done nothing wrong. They shouldn't be extradited for crimes they did not commit.
This is your lawyer. He's talking about they've never done nothing wrong. He doesn't seem professional to me. All right, he doesn't seem professional to me. I mean, it's just too shiny. The head's so shiny.
Entitled to have their day of court that we've been litigating the case for 3 years in Palm Beach County in Florida. So we're fighting extradition. We've assembled.
The Palm Beach, Florida is nothing to do with anything. And don't even talk to me about litigating in Palm Beach, Florida. What? Palm Beach? You mean Epstein Beach? You mean Palm Beach Pete? What, like, the fact you even got anything going on in Palm Beach, Florida is sus.
The team here, these are from the Roy Black's prestigious firm, the Honorable and since passed on Roy Black. He's a legend, and they're here. They have joined our team. We have a competent team. We have a wonderful team. We're looking forward to getting the best possible result under the sun. Proceedings have now started in this courtroom, so I am less liberal with what I'm able to say. But if you have any questions for me, I'll do my best to answer them in a way that's respectful of your time, of our time, and of the court processes.
Mr. Court acknowledged that the brothers.
Go ahead.
Acknowledging in court that the brothers reviewed the complaint with them. Could you explain their first reaction to these allegations?
The allegations, their first reaction to the allegations is the first reaction that any innocent man or woman would have. It's garbage. It's a stitch-up job. They're after us to punish us with the process. The process is the punishment. When you drag somebody's name through the media, when you slander them, when you defame them, when you accuse them of heinous and terrible allegations, the process becomes the punishment until you can clear your name. They've been clearing their names domestically and abroad for years. This is just the next logical conclusion in that situation. Keir Starmer just retired or is retiring. I'm sure he's mad that Andrew and Tristan Tate had a lot to do with his fall in Great Britain.
So they're saying that Andrew Tate is responsible. Andrew and Tristan Tate are responsible for Keir Starmer's retirement. This guy doesn't have a first fucking clue about UK politics, all right? Now, I'm no big city lawyer. I'm no shiny-headed lawyer like him. But All right? I know a little something about UK politics, and I know a little something about US politics. Andrew Tate got the first fucking thing to do with Keir Starmer's decline. What do you mean he's retiring? He's resigned because he lost the support of his party because he sucks and he's not doing any of the stuff that he said he was going to do, and the UK has been in a terminal decline for years. They're saying it's the Tate's fault. What? They're getting revenge by using a local police department to file charges that are from 10, 15 years ago, before Keir Starmer was even had anything to do with politics at this level. It's nonsense. This guy doesn't even know politics. And they're going to blame it all on politics. At least get to know the politics before you start blaming everything on politics and not the fact that your clients are R-words, allegedly.
And there's a new guy in there right now, but this is the with his fall and great.
There's a new guy in there right now. No, there isn't. See, you have no idea about the process. Andy Burnham hasn't taken over yet, all right? Keir Starmer is stepping down. You got no idea.
Britain, and there's a new guy in there right now, but this is the last vestige of attack of a prime minister who didn't do a good job, and he continues to do bad work, and I'll just leave it there. Innocent to.
He doesn't have a clue, right? He continues to do bad work, but he's left. And a new guy's in there, don't even know his name, but it's their fault. But if you're going to lie and try and deflect the R word as a political hit job, at least spend 5 minutes to learn a little bit about the politics, the Labour Party, the leadership contest, Keir Starmer, Andy Burnham. Who the fuck are you actually talking about? And also, let's not forget, do you even know who was in charge when these crimes were allegedly committed? Whole different government.
Proven guilty. We're going to let the court process play out here the way that it should. We're happy to be here.
Happy to be? No, I don't think you're happy to be here.
US-UK treaty allows the exception for extradition if the charges are politically motivated.
Right.
You're saying
politically motivated? I think any one of these trees or any one of these rocks could answer that question. Yes, it's politically motivated. There's no question about it.
So this guy is letting us know his IQ level is on the same level as rocks and trees in the local area. Got it. Okay, you as smart as a bag of rocks.
These guys went to D.C. They exercised their First Amendment rights. They met with members of Congress as private citizens. They met with friends in Washington, D.C. They walked the grounds of the Capitol, and 3 days later, they're in a jumpsuit. You do the math.
You do the math. I don't think this guy could do any math because he's dumb as hell. What does that have to do with anything? It's got nothing to do with anything. Hey, why isn't this working? Hang on.
Many tools. One, you do the math.
And that's a tool that you're going to use to get the free.
We have many tools. One of the ways that we'll argue, I'm not going to give away our entire arguments here, but we're certainly going to say that there are special circumstances. We're certainly going to use a totality of the circumstances argument, and that will be one of the things that we argue for certain.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Ultimately, if the legal process goes towards extradition, it will be up to the Trump administration and the Secretary of State to decide to sign off on extradition. What do you think the administration is seeing about this stuff?
Well, I appreciate your question. I see where you're going with it. You're fast voting for the end of the process. What's important to do now is focus on what's here and now, what's before us. Well, we have to go in there. We have a conference coming up in a few days. We're going to set a briefing schedule. We'll make our arguments before the court. We'll see what this judge does. I don't want to make political statements about the administration when right now that's the executive branch and we're here in front of the judicial branch, and I want to be mindful and respectful of the people that we're in front of here.
So they were asked, do you think Trump will be able to have the final say and save him from this? Now he doesn't want to talk politics. So when he's saying that the Prime Minister of the UK, who's not even the Prime Minister, who's about to be outgoing Prime Minister, is responsible for this, all right? He wants to talk politics. But now when he's asked, will Trump just backdoor Tate and let him just walk home free from this and just step in and overstep the mark? Now he doesn't want to talk politics.
I believe that my clients have support from every person who's a reasonably minded person, whether they're in the United States or abroad, elected or not elected. Everybody knows that Andrew and Tristan Tate are innocent. Yes.
Liar.
I was listening to your interview earlier this morning.
It's okay.
It looks like you're positioning the charges within the framework of being politically motivated, but the charges themselves, some don't seem to have an intersection with politics. Can you flesh out a little bit more why you're positioning that?
Sure. You don't have to have an intersection between politics.
Sorry, but why is Justin Waller there? What the fuck does he have to do with this? He got nothing to do with this. Hasn't he got to get back to his long-suffering wife? But they basically said, look, you're saying that these are political charges, but the charges themselves have nothing to do with politics. It's the R word. Has he got an answer for this?
A little bit more why you're positioning that.
Sure. You don't have to have an intersection between politics and criminal charges for there to be a stitch-up job here. The man that I voted for office, who's currently in office, had millions of charges slandered against him all over the place. Some of them he beat, some of them he didn't beat. Most people who understand the process know that that was a load of crap. Most people who see this for what it is know that it is the same exact thing.
He doesn't speak like a professional lawyer. He is a dummy. He is a bag of rocks, all right? He looks like a rock. But this is really, really bad news for Andrew Tate. And I think he's got a terrible, terrible, terrible cheap. This is a Saul Goodman type lawyer, okay? This guy is making it all about politics. But the thing is, it doesn't matter, right? Because once he ultimately gets extradited, unless Trump can save him, this guy's out of a job because he don't know shit about UK law, all right? He's here to fight the extradition. That's all he's going to do, all right? Once he gets extradited to the UK, he's going to need one of them real life, real deal UK lawyers, a King's Counsel with the wig and the silk gown. That's what he's going to need. This rock, all right? This sentient rock, Trump voting, all right? He thinks that because he voted Trump, that's going to get him some favors. It's insane. This man is going to do him no favors.
Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
Right, there were multiple women who claimed that they were victims of the case. Are you saying that those women are politically motivated?
I'm not going to comment as to the women in any case. What I can say is that we have a defamation lawsuit against a false accuser that we're litigating successfully in Palm Beach County. That case is getting ready to go to trial.
So they said, do you think the women that are accusing Tate of the R word numerous times, numerous women, and his brother, and other abuses, including the illegal videos that were made of a child that he allegedly trafficked to the UK for the purposes of S work, they're saying, is that politically motivated? He's saying, I won't comment on it, but we are suing some random other chick. We got some other broad in court that we're bullying around in Palm Beach. So... and we haven't even taken it to trial yet. So, doesn't that invalidate the claims by these women? So, what are you talking? This is nonsense.
What I can say about the allegations in the United Kingdom, not a single solitary person has been identified. These are ghosts and these are phantoms. So, we like to know who's accused Andrew and Tristan of what. And if we get there, then I can give you a reasonable-minded and intelligent comment about the potential allegations that come from these ladies.
Yeah, let us know who they are and their addresses and their weaknesses and their fears. Let us know their fears so we can play on them and scare them. Nah, that ain't gonna work. This whole shit plays out different in the UK, gang.
In the interview this morning, I listened to you talk about your efforts, kind of forecasting how you plan to fight this if it doesn't go your way, and you said, I will appeal all the way to the top of the food chain. Was that a reference to the president?
That was a reference to the Supreme Court. This is the judicial process. The top of the food chain is Clarence Thomas and the 8 other justices that abide there.
So they said they're going to take it all the way to the Supreme Court. And it's no secret that the Supreme Court has got a little bit of a Trump spin to it because, you know, Trump had the opportunity to replace several Supreme Court justices. It's kind of leaned towards his political affiliation. That's how it works. The president gets to choose. And he's basically saying, when I said I would take it to the top, I'm not saying I'm going to take it to Trump, even though I might. He's basically saying, yeah, we're going to take it to that Supreme Court that Trump, you know, had a hand in.
What was their initial reaction when they were picked up?
Their initial reaction was, what's going on? We've been, in the United States, hanging out on multiple trips for a very long time. We haven't been accused of anything of substance here. We're American citizens. We operate freely. We operate as law-abiding people. We went to see our Congress people in D.C. and now we're getting arrested. This feels political, and of course they didn't like it. No innocent man likes getting taken to jail. It's a horrible situation, but we're going to do everything that we can do with this wonderful team that we've assembled here to get them out. We're trying to figure that out right now. Andrew and Tristan are citizens of the world. I think it's on public record that they've been in between Dubai and Romania for some years, and we will sort the rest of that out in due course.
Just for clarity purposes, the judge mentioned that this wasn't a criminal proceeding, but the extradition process hasn't begun. Where are we now, just legal clarity?
So yeah, this is not a criminal proceeding, and what the judge was talking about is that the Bail Reform Act isn't the operative law here. We're looking at the extradition process. This is the first small step in that process. There's a lawyers-only conference coming up in a few days. Our legal team will talk to the government will talk to our team, we'll converse with the judge, we'll set a briefing schedule for substantive arguments to be made at some point in the future.
You also posted on X about solitary confinement. Can you touch on that?
Yeah, solitary confinement is torture. When you look at the international law on it, the Nelson Mandela rules, the Geneva Conventions, solitary confinement is outlawed, prolonged solitary in 16 different states. It is defined as captivity of a human being for 22 hours or more a day in a cell. Prolonged solitary confinement is universally condemned around the world as universal as torture, as a human rights violation. So anytime you keep somebody in solitary confinement, what you're doing is you're keeping them there to break their spirit, to break their soul, and to break the psychology of the mind. It is an egregious misuse of the judicial system.
It's egregious, right? When you're keeping somebody somewhere against their will, it really breaks their mind, their soul. Just like Andrew Tate allegedly kept these women against their will, forcing them to perform on webcam under the threat of violence and that they couldn't leave. Yeah, no, it sucks when people do that to you and keep you in captivity and force you to do things that you don't want to do, isn't it? It's tough. It's rough, you know. And if you do that to someone, there should probably be some sort of punishment, you know.
And by the way, Andrew and Tristan have not been convicted of any crime. The Fifth Amendment of the United States protects them. It's not the standard of cruel and unusual punishment that the Eighth Amendment gives. It is the Fifth Amendment person. No innocent person can be punished while they're being held for any proceeding. Innocent and proven guilty, solitary confinement is punishment. It should not happen. My understanding is we're working to get them out of there as soon as possible. But if they're left in there for reasons that we won't be able to talk about right now, I'll be sure to let you know in my Twitter post. Thank you very much, everybody. God bless you all. God bless Andrew and Tristan Tate. Have a fantastic day.
God bless Andrew and Tristan Tate, man. That is absolute insanity, okay? So I've got kind of some more details on the extradition process that's likely to be taking place. And it's interesting because Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate are dual citizens of the US and the UK. I believe his father was from Chicago. He's a real Chirac baby, actually, funnily enough. And, you know, he's half black, half white. Not that that's going to have an impact on here, but I do have a funny point on that to tell you in a minute, because he does like to use the N-word with the hard ER to shock people and to make money and go viral. But basically, all right, all of this ain't really going to help him. They're still going to try and extradite him. And the fact that he is half English is probably not going to help him with this.
News legal analyst Danny Savalas joins us now from the UK with more. Danny, good morning. So British authorities are saying that these new charges follow the discovery of additional evidence. What do we know about that and what led up to the arrests?
Well, according to what's been published by authorities here, the Bedfordshire police received a fresh file of new evidence, new alleged victims or complainants, bringing the number of complainants from 3 up to, I believe, 7, and dramatically increasing the number of charges up to over 40. So these are charges that initiated the U.S. Marshal Service to go out and initiate extradition proceedings.
So, Danny, the U.S. Marshal Service says the warrant remains sealed right now. Why would details of the charges be kept under seal at this point?
The charges themselves are not under seal. They are published on the website by law enforcement authorities here in the UK. But it's very common for the arrest warrant for the U.S. Marshals to be kept under seal because when you think about it, extradition often involves fugitives. Fugitives are people who are avoiding justice. So you don't want to telegraph that we're looking for fugitives by filing that in a court document. So the charges themselves are known and public. The actual arrest warrant for the Marshal, it's routine for that to be sealed, and then it will be unsealed at the first appearance. It's kept sealed so you don't telegraph to fugitives to go and run and go hide somewhere else.
The brothers are now awaiting extradition proceedings in the U.S. Is that a slam dunk? Does that mean they will go to Britain to face trial?
Legally, it should be a slam dunk, but it likely won't be. And here's why. Extradition, at least international extradition, is the product of a treaty between the United States and whatever country is requesting it. We have a treaty with the UK. It's a powerful treaty. And by the way, some countries will not extradite their own citizens. Under the treaty, these folks can be extradited. But here's where it's tricky. If Andrew Tate has been a vocal supporter of President Trump, and there are a few ways the executive branch could slow down or even stop these proceedings. Number one, the DOJ has to file a complaint. It's just a formality, but they may choose not to or delay it. Number two, ultimately, no matter what the judge does here in the States, the Secretary of State has to sign and execute a warrant. And that could die on the Secretary of State's desk if the administration decides these are defendants that they want to prevent their extradition. Now, I couldn't find an instance of this ever happening in history, but at least under the law, it's possible.
Beyond the potential politics of this, we should note that the Tates, they're dual citizens in the U.S. and the UK. What does that mean for extradition proceedings? Could it complicate things at all?
No, that's least likely to complicate these proceedings. Some countries are reluctant to hand over their own citizens. The U.S. loves handing over their own citizens. I'm saying that as glibly because really we're very, very open to entering into extradition treaties with not just the U.K., but lots of countries. So we will turn over our citizens if the criteria are met. So, for example, if a foreign country has something outlawed that the United States would never make a crime, that might be grounds to refuse extradition. extradition. But the mere fact that you hold a U.S. passport or are a dual citizen will not protect you like a force field from extradition proceedings. Their better argument is that these charges are old and really a pitch to the administration to say, hey, just slow this down and maybe throw up some roadblocks so we can stay here as long as possible.
All right.
So it's not really necessarily going to help them, that dual citizenship. They're saying the US loves extraditing US citizens because they want to ensure that if they want somebody sent back, they can receive the same courtesy. Now, ironically, as I told you, Andrew Tate, he's half black, half white. He's mixed race man, okay? But he is officially in the Bureau of Prisons in Miami FDC, and his race was listed as white. I'm sure he'll be very disappointed to see that, okay? There he is, Andrew Emery Tate, all right? Bureau of Prisons, BOP. You can send him money, you can send him mail, all right? If you want to send Andrew Tate, as if he didn't have enough money already, Bugattis on top of Bugattis, all right? You can arrange a visit. Go get in touch with Big Tate, Big Daddy Tate, okay? Daddy coin, all that good stuff, all right? That is what's going on with him. But anyway, okay, interestingly enough, just days before this spectacular arrest, and it was spectacular, the Tate brothers were hanging out with Epstein's alleged former associates and some of the highest level people in Washington, okay? This was just before the arrest. It says, report, Tate brothers stun DC's elite club. Okay, so this is before the arrest, right? Let me see and get this looking good. So it says, Andrew and Tristan Tate, the influencer brothers facing SA and trafficking charges in the UK and Romania, spent the past several days in Washington as guests of Donald Trump's special envoy, Paolo Zampoli. He was a former modeling agency boss who introduced the president to Melania and confirmed to the Daily Mail he hosted the Tate brothers at a house in Northwest Washington, D.C. on Wednesday for a summer soiree attended by around 150 guests. Asked whether this event was connected to his State Department role, the 56-year-old shot back, "Why would I do that? This was a summer gathering. You might need to do something soon." Zampoli said that he wasn't sure of the purpose of Tate's visit to the Capitol, telling the Daily Mail they're having some business meetings. He also accompanied the infamous brothers Tuesday to the Ned, an exclusive private members club near the White House, which is a regular haunt for cabinet secretaries. Members at the Ned were shocked by the brothers' appearance and complained to management, multiple sources told the Daily Mail. They were mostly smoking cigars outside the club, and the pair left around 11 p.m. and went out for a drink afterwards. People in the administration were scared to be seen with Tate, he said. The Tate brothers deny all allegations against them and are yet to face trial. Coming soon. Is that the Tate? Is that the Ned? The Ned, I've been to the Ned in New York. It's beautiful, all right, but not for these same reasons. So they locked in with the politicians, man. They locked in with the politicians. I see Tristan shaved his head. I'm gonna need the sunglasses too, because that's just light bouncing off his head, man. We need to anytime one of these bald head top looking fools, all right, these duty low looking fools pop up, I'm gonna need to throw the sunglasses on. Says the Tate brothers made their way to Capitol Hill. Zampoli was named as a special envoy for global partnerships in March 2025, a role that operates through the State Department. Paolo routinely comes into conflict with State Department leadership, who are embarrassed by him, a State Department source told the Daily Mail. Now Zampoli has attached himself to two of the most polarizing figures in the Trump-aligned media world, introducing the Tates to Washington's political elite. The Tate brothers also made their way to Capitol Hill to rub elbows with Republican lawmakers. A photograph obtained by the Daily Mail shows the pair posing with Texas Representative Wesley Hunt in his congressional office. The meeting came together after Tristan reached out to Hunt through the congressman's social media aide. Wesley was beyond excited to meet them. Huh? Said a source in Hunt's office familiar with the meeting. Once inside, the brothers bragged about their time in a Romanian prison, including doing 100 push-ups every day, according to the source. Well, now they're going to get what they wanted, okay? He's going to be in the Bureau of Prisons in Miami FDC. I'm going to need to see 200 push-ups a day going forward, all right? Put those numbers, those are some rookie numbers, Andrew. Hunt, a Houston congressman and a Houston congressman and Army veteran, took office in 2023 and brands himself as one of Trump's earliest and most loyal backers in Congress, finished a distant third in this year's Republican Senate primary in Texas. The Daily Mail contacted Hunt for comment. Didn't work out. These are the lovely, luxury, exclusive locations that these clowns will be looking at before they went to a squalid Miami jail cell. And soon, was it going to be Broadmoor in the UK? Going to be tough, man. So facing charges in the UK and Romania. All right. The brothers arrived in the capital carrying heavy baggage. Both physical and metaphorical, I assume. Andrew and Tristan were arrested in Romania in December 2022, charged in June 2023 with human trafficking and forming an organized crime group to sexually exploit women. Andrew was additionally charged with SA. Romanian prosecutors in August 2024 expanded the case against them to include money laundering, witness intimidation, and complicity in the trafficking of young'uns, all right? They not like us. British prosecutors filed 21 charges of their own against the brothers in May 2025, including SA, actual bodily harm, and human trafficking. Romanian courts have ruled the pair will be extradited to the UK once proceedings in Romania conclude. The UK said, F all that. We want them now, all right? I need it. Is Draco undefeated? The brothers have denied all charges and allegations against them. The Tates flew from Romania to Florida in February 2025 after authorities lifted their travel ban, a reversal that followed reported pressure from the Trump administration figures. Trump told reporters he knew nothing about it. So they might have a few more tricks up their sleeve, all right? ProPublica later reported a White House official intervened to have federal agents return electronic devices seized from the brothers when they landed in Florida. This week's gathering was not Zampoli's first encounter with the brother. He and Andrew were seen together on the sidelines of the Milken Institute Global Conference in May. The two recently recorded a lengthy interview together. It's unclear whether further meetings or parties for the brothers in Washington are planned this week. Zampoli's place in Trump's world was cemented in September 1998 after he says he introduced the future president to Melania Knauss at a New York party 2 years after his modeling agency ID Model Management sponsored her visa. I've got some questions, but we're not going to ask them for at least a couple of years. Background on Zampoli. Zampoli's decades in New York's fashion and society worlds also placed him squarely in the orbit of Jeffrey Epstein, a.k.a. the original Andrew Tate. This is Andrew Tate's OG, all right? This is Andrew Tate's OG. Epstein was a patron of ID Model Management, and in 2004, he was a partner in Zampoli's unsuccessful bid to purchase Elite Model Management. In one 2011 email from the Epstein files released by the Department of Justice, the PDF financier warned an Emirati businessman that Zampoli is trouble, misspelling his name. In 2013, Zampoli was named as one of 4 partners in the Terramar Project, the ocean charity, founded by Epstein's convicted accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell. No. She what's the name of Andrew Tate's bottom bitch? Ghislaine's her OG, basically, right? What's her name? I forgot her name. Doesn't matter. No evidence has publicly connected Zampoli to Epstein's crimes. It's Vivian, all right? Ghislaine is Vivian's OG, basically. No evidence has publicly connected Zampoli to Epstein's crime, and he's not been accused of wrongdoing in connection with Epstein or Maxwell. In March, the New York Times reported that Zampoli had contacted a senior ICE official last June after learning that Amanda Ungaro, his ex-wife and the mother of his teenage son, had been arrested on fraud charges in Florida. Zampoli allegedly suggested that her immigration detention could help him win their custody battle. Ungaro, whose visa had expired years earlier, was picked up by ICE agents before she could post bail and was ultimately deported to Brazil. That's savage. Though the Times noticed she may have faced removal regardless of his involvement. Zampoli denied seeking her detention or deportation, saying he only asked about the process. That's diabolical. And the Department of Homeland Security said she was removed because her expired visa and fraud charges. Trump appointed Zampoli to the Kennedy Center's Board of Trustees in 2020, and in his envoy role, he crisscrossed the globe promoting sports diplomacy and brokering deals including mineral and aircraft agreements with Uzbekistan. The envoy position has never been publicly defined, and no financial disclosure for Zampoli has been made publicly available. Joseph D. McBride, all right, attorney for Andrew and Tristan Tate, told the Daily Mail, "I'm not going to confirm or deny anything. What I'll say is this: Washington knows Andrew and Tristan Tate's ability to influence the next election is unmatched." What? Excuse me? That's your defense? It's unmatched? What? This is sounding very corrupt. Republicans and Democrats love them. Both parties are inviting them to all kinds of interesting events because both parties understand the same thing. The Tate brothers command the loyalty of millions of young men and a growing number of women. Yeah, but they do it by force. They do it by force and coercion. Millions of young men and a small group of young women forced into a warehouse to get busy on webcam for their benefit and so they can keep all the money. What on earth sentence is that? Loyalty of millions of young men and a growing number of women. I don't know. I think that number of women is dwindling, and those women are pretty upset. That number of women that they command the loyalty of. The loyalty of millions of young men and a handful of women locked in a house in Romania. Cool. All of them vote. Do you think they're letting the women vote? I'm pretty sure Andrew Tate doesn't want women to vote. But anyway, the State Department has been contacted for comment. All right, it is an absolute shit show. Terrible day for Tate in court by the sounds of it. I don't think he's going to be getting out anytime soon. The only thing that could save him now is Trump. And Trump might save him. Don't get me wrong. Everyone was on my case talking about, oh, you changed your tune on Lil Durk. Oh, now you're supporting him. I call it like I see it. Right now, Tate and them are looking cooked. They're looking cooked. They're looking cooked. They're getting flipped up and down in that MDC or FDC Miami, okay? It is crazy. They're going to need to do way more push-ups to get out of this one. But Trump might step in and save them. And if it's looking like that's going to be the case, I will let you guys know. I will be impartial, even though I think these guys are clowns and fools and just despicable human beings in the way that they made their money. It's not respectable, all right? Abusing, coercing, and imprisoning women for your own benefit and keeping all of their money. It's just not cool. It's just lame. Just do something actually beneficial to the world. Anyway, I'll wrap it up there. Hope you found that breakdown useful. I will see you guys in the next video. I'm out for now. Peace.